Yes, hello everyone. You're most welcome to our today's geography class, where we are going to talk about a topic called map features. So by the end of this class, you'll be able to get an understanding of what map features are, the different kinds of map features, the physical map features, and and the Schumann made uh, map of features. But before we delve deeper into that understanding, into an understanding of our today's topic, I'd love us to first have a look into a very brief question, and get uh, we shall get an understanding of today's topic. Okay. So this brief question says, have you ever looked at a map? Have you ever looked at a map and wondered what all these symbols are? Oh, sorry, uh, and wondered what all those symbols, lines, and colors mean? I repeat it again. Have you ever looked at a map and wondered what all those features, what all those symbols, lines, and colors mean? So that's all about our question, and it is for you to answer, not for me. So there is no need for you to get worried, because by the end of this class, you'll be able to answer this simple question. Okay, let's delve into the understanding of our today's topic, and that is all about map features. So, map features refer to the various natural and human elements shown on a map, representing a specific area of the Earth's surface. So, it simply means the various natural and human elements that are shown on a map, representing a specific area of the Earth's surface, or representing the Earth's surface, depending on the map that you're being tasked, to draw. If it is the map of the globe, then you have to show all the natural and the human-made features on it. And if it is a portion of it, or a part of the map of the globe, let me say map of Africa, map of Asia, or a map of Uganda, then you have to show all those features, both the natural and the human made, on that map that you're being tasked, to draw. Okay, so we see that in map features, they're different, there are different categories, there are different kinds of map features, depending even on the explanation and the clarification that I've given about the map features. So we see that there are different kinds of map features, and these are specifically two, where we have the natural map features, and the human, map features. And I would love us to get into an understanding of what the physical features on a map mean, and what the human features on a map mean. So let's start with the physical features on a map. So when we talk about the physical features on a map, these are elements, or these are features that are naturally formed, uh, on the Earth's surface or in the environment. So for when it comes to the physical features on the map, let me say, are features that would believe that are created, they would believe that are created by God. A man has no control over this. A man has no control over the physical features. A man has no hand when it comes to physical features. So we believe that these features were created by God, or they naturally occurred on their own in the environment. So the examples and the examples of these physical features that we usually show on different maps. We have examples like rivers, rivers and lakes, yeah. And these are usually represented by blue lines, blue lines. And also we have an example of mountains, and mountains are represented by contour lines or triangular symbols. Then another example of physical features on the map, we have forests. Forests are also represented represented on a map. Then plains and valleys with their symbols. Then we have deserts. These are often marked with yellow colors to represent arid areas. Then also we have coasts and beaches. These are still examples of the physical features that we usually show on different maps that we are being tasked, to draw. And the coast and the beaches, are usually represented with blue or turquoise lines near the shore, and near the shore often with sandy color indicating beaches. So, having looked or having got an understanding of the examples of the what or the physical features on the map, you know, when it comes to physical features, how are they represented on a map? So these features are represented on the map as symbols. There's no need for you to draw, the whole forest, as you've seen it in the physical. You can easily represent it on a map in the form of a symbol, a symbol of a tree. Then colors also, we can represent these features in the form of colors. Let me say when it is a river or a water body, we can represent it. We can represent in a form of in a form of a triangular in the form of an irregular shape that is in blue in color. That simply means that is a water body. Then also we have contours or elevation lines, physical features. We can represent it. We can represent on a map in a form of contours or elevation lines. So when it comes to contours, they can be close. They can be close to each other, and when they are close to each other, meaning the land is steep, and when they are far apart to each other, meaning the land is flat. So we can represent the shape of the shape of a land in the form of contours or elevation lines on the map. There's no need for you, to draw. It is no need for you to think of tactics. The plans how you can draw. The shape of a land on the map. You simply need to represent it using contour lines or elevation lines. Okay. So having understood about that, let's have a look into the human features on a map. So human features, these are features that are created or modified by people. So when it comes to human features, here there is nothing to do with nature when it comes to human features. So as the name itself, human features, these are features that are created, that are formed or modified by human beings or people. And examples of these human features, we have buildings, we have settlements, and these are represented by squares or triangles on a map. Then we have roads or railways. Roads are shown with solid or dashed lines, railways with dashed lines and crossbars. That's how they are represented on a map. There is no need for you to think of plans, how you can draw a road, on a map. You can easily you can easily show it on a map in a form of line, in a form of dashed lines. You can show it in a form of in a form of crossbars. Then we have parks and recreational we have recreational areas. These are still examples of human features on a map. So these are often shown using green shading or specific map symbols. Then we have examples of schools, hospitals, churches. These are still examples of human features on a map. And specific symbols such as the book represent a school, represent a school or a cross, or a cross for a church. Then we have still on the examples of human features. So we have a farm. A farm is formed by humans. Then we have bridges and dams is constructed by human beings. And for the case of bridges and dams, you can depict them or show them with a specific symbol lines showing a structure over water. And on this slide, we are going to look into how these human features are represented on a map. So these features can be represented in the form of symbols, in the form of symbols, different icons, Then this and also they can be represented in the form of lines, represented human-made routes like roads, railways, and airways. Then also human features can be represented in form of labels, names of cities, towns, and key structures like hospitals and schools. And no need for you, to draw a school as you've seen it in the physical. There's no need for you to draw a church, as you've seen it in the physical. But you can represent it with just a simple structure and a cross on it. It will be enough for a map reader to know that this is a what? This is a church, And when it comes to roads, railways, you can represent, dashed lines. You can represent it on a map with dashed lines. It will be very easy for a map reader to know that these dashed lines mean a road or means a railway, railway line, and also labels, name of towns, cities, and a school can put you can put something. Okay, let me say a trading center. Let me say an example of a trading center. You can easily represent it on a map with a label of TC. That's enough for a map reader to know that this is a trading center. Borehole, BH, a label of BH. The map reader is able to understand that this is a borehole, in this area. So having looked into that, let's have a look into this scenario. And out of this scenario, there are questions that are generated out of it, and I'm sure you'll be able to understand these questions. These questions that are generated from this scenario, according to the understanding that you've gotten from our today's topic. So let's have a look into this scenario. It says, imagine you have moved to a new town and are given a map to help you find your way around. The map shows roads, rivers, schools, forests, hills, hospitals, and more. You will use the map to explore and learn about your new environment. So these are the questions that are generated from this scenario. And the first question says, what is the difference between physical and human features on a map? Then the second question is, how can symbols and colors on a map help you understand the places around you? Then lastly, why is it important to be able to read and interpret symbols in a real life? So I'm persuaded you're able to answer these questions. These questions depending on the understanding that you've gotten from our today's class. So this has marked the end of our class today. Let's link up in our next class. Thank you.